not only Blackbox, but of course, like other things, like especially Quest. Quest is awesome for fitness in general and for VR fitness. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been working on. And
What I think is
yeah,
really, I talk to a lot of developers and they're all very humble. And I don't think they brag quite enough because you said something where you are guiding them. You're building this plane, you're adding the weights, you're forcing them to get better. Let's not understate that. And I think I need to build a little bit of a context because if you are not a gym goer, meaning in person, so I'm not talking if you work out, cool, but in person gym working, it's hard to go to the gym. It's hard to do this. And we put a lot of onus on the individual for having to make that decision to go out. But no one ever brings up the fact it's not spoken about. And I really, really applaud you for being that person who's pushing and caring because for those in the chat, traditionally, the business model for in-person gyms, the resistance gyms, are for you not to show up. They actively
right.
want to find ways, subliminally or just by making things a little harder than they have to be, for you not to show up. There is no incentive for a current gym for you to show up because there are occupancy laws. And if they and their business model is about getting as many people to subscribe or be a member of that gym. But if every person in that gym who signed up showed up, there would not be enough equipment. They'd hit occupancy, and their limit on equipment is going to get hit well before occupancy. So everything at a traditional gym banks on you not showing up. But then you have people like Blackbox out there, from what I hear and what you just said, that are finding ways to encourage you to come up. We're gamifying this fitness, and we'll get into more about Blackbox, but that kind of sets the stage for how ridiculous fitness is. We put all this onus on the individuals for not going. Why didn't they go to the gym? Why not? Well, that's because the business is set up not to have you go. And I'm assuming that's probably something Blackbox, because it's a pretty in-depth system. I mean, you got limited space for this. That's got to be a concern of yours on mitigating that. But I applaud you, and I think you should talk more about inviting people because you're actively encouraging fitness where other gyms really aren't.
Yeah, and definitely. It is something that we take seriously with Blackbox as a business, as we actually, and the businesses and corporations and whoever say this stuff all the time. They're trying to better you or make your life better or whatever. But like we actually do incentivize you to come to the gym on a regular basis. We have one of the earliest things that Blackbox implemented in our game is a streak multiplier or streak reward. So as long as you're coming every, I think it's 70, there's a 78-hour window, or if you come once every 78 hours, so it's about 3 days plus a couple hours to account for just some extra buffer time in there. But we want you to come back to the gym once every 3 days. There are lots of studies out there that that kind of push for that consistency. And I'll like to make the disclaimer here that I'm a developer at Blackbox. I'm not a fitness expert by any means. I really enjoy fitness, and it's a big part of my life. But just want to put that disclaimer out there. But we do work with a lot of super knowledgeable people. The founders of this company have been in fitness for a very long time, and are very knowledgeable on these subjects and these studies. And we found that getting back to the gym once every 3 days in a consistent, and with that consistent effort, does give you the results that you're wanting. And we do want you to come back to Blackbox. We do want you to come back once or more every 3 days to help you achieve your goals. We have a fitness multiplier. This ties in right into the game where every time you come in, it boosts your multiplier, and you have these little minions that kind of come out onto the field when you're fighting against, whoever. And these minions, we do give you a slight buff the longer your streak has been alive for. So I think we have it's 10 separate minion levels that you can upgrade your minions 10 times by continuing to come and having that consistent streak. And it's something that really helps me come back to the gym consistently. And a lot of our members really like it, to the point where we have some members that right now have 160 like consecutive workouts within 3 days that they've never missed. And they have like some pretty large bonuses from it. And one of the other things when you have a streak that's high like that is you're less likely to, get lazy or not get your butt to the gym or whatever. And it's pretty incentivizing. So like, yeah, you're right. We are trying to get you into our facilities and use our equipment, and actually get your money's worth for your membership for sure.
What's something like this cost? I am really curious on that.
Yeah. So like the cost, so it does change depending on location. We count for, what like the living costs are for where we are at. We have a partnership with a gym chain, EOS, right now, and they have gyms all over like the West Coast and are branching out more and more into the East as well. But we've partnered with gym chain EOS to actually have smaller Blackbox facilities inside of their gym. So like I forget what it is, it depends on the location, but when you pay for an EOS membership, whether that's, I forget what it is, 10, 20, 30, whatever dollars a month, depending on where you're at and like whatever, tier you pick for all the different facilities you have access to, we come as a part of that. And so you do, when you're going to like an EOS gym or one of these gym chains that we're working with, you get their gym plus our machines. We also have a few of our own like boutique standalone gyms. Like we have one in Boise, Idaho, and we have one in San Francisco right now. And the Boise, Idaho one, we do charge it's like a per month session cap, I guess, subscription. So you can pay for a smaller amount of sessions per month. And that starts at somewhere like $30-$40 or whatever. And then it raises if you want like unlimited sessions per month. But we try to keep it competitive with the other either gym chains or the clubs around us. Because one of the awesome things about Blackbox, well, there's a lot of awesome things about Blackbox, and of course I'm super biased about it. But like,
man, like I said, be bold and boast about it. That's what you guys you deserve to. And by the way, when I bring up cost, I think that can come off a little bit like, how much does it cost? But you guys take it as a whole. You're figuring this out as you go. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but this is uncharted territory. You're the first, right? And being the first, you're going to be making some amazing decisions. You're going to be making some amazing errors. You are in uncharted waters, whether that's cost, how you came up with this type of game. It's not about the cost is the question of should you do it or not. I like it as more the thought process on how this all kind of formed.
Yeah, for sure. And we've actually made some iterations on our costs per location and over the years, trying to figure out like what is this worth to people. And a couple of things that factor into that cost is like, not only are we a piece of gym equipment, I guess you could say, we are a novel piece of gym equipment. And some people could be like, oh, that's gimmicky or whatever. And I get that, it's new. There's always these crazy gym or fitness gimmicks coming out all the time that may or may not work. So we have that whole aspect of it. But what's really cool about Blackbox as a product is you basically have a personal trainer built in with the AI, because we're pushing you. We can raise and lower your weights to 1/10 of a pound.
Oh, wow.
And the AI will start you off when you're first starting out with Blackbox. It does analyze and it tunes the weights to your performance and how well you can do. And we're always trying to get you into a specific range of like that 8 to 15 rep range, or we're trying to get you to failure, or at least, like a 1, 2, 3 reps left in the tank kind of situation to make sure you have that muscle stimulus. So we have like that personal trainer kind of aspect built in. And with our Blackbox app, this is like one of the things I super love about it is we have an app for your phone that when you're doing all of these workouts, we're tracking all of the statistics, and you have a profile from the day you start Blackbox where you can see a graph. Oh, my bad. You can see a graph of where you started and where you're at. And you can see down to 1/10 of a pound how much you're gaining as you're going along. And so like you'll see like in my graph, like you'll see like me gaining and gaining and gaining. And there's like some situations, of course, like in COVID where, we're stuck at home and stuff, and had a couple injuries, and so I hadn't gone back for a little bit. And it was kind of sad, but you see like that drop in the graphs, and then I'm building back up again, which is super motivating. And with like an app like this, you can really tune and see your progress in real time, how much and then since it's pushing you kind of like automatically like that, is progressing you don't need to worry about like, what weights am I using? Is this enough weight? Am I doing the right exercise? Am I using the right piece of equipment? And that's a whole other subset of our business that is pretty exciting, and once again kind of novel in the whole fitness areas. We're tracking a pretty big number of data points on your workout, and that we can show you, so you're actually seeing I guess like digital numerical proof of your progress.
Hit that subscribe button to stay on top of the daily clips, or catch the debates and fireside chats live on the main channel down in the video description. See you next time, Space Cowboys.